Okay. Yeah. Today's topic was about the joining data. So on the previous concept, we have seen the CTE, common table. So those are all the temporary tables. Now we can see we can merge those temporary tables into a, like have we have seen here. It చూడండి, like these are all two tables. So we are trying to join the tables by using the join function. So as of name describes join, it joins the data we ఇక్కడ చూడండి, like here the two table consists of owner's name and the pets table, and ఇక్కడ చూడండి name and the pet id. Like pet id describes like how many like animals, I mean ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి animals, like అలా. ఇక్కడ చూడండి describes pet 1, and ఇక్కడ చూడండి pet id 3, it's when going to the cat, because yeah, I will explain. And ఇది చూడండి 2 and 4, because it consists by using the pet id, it's been marked to the pet. Here's the id here marked, because yeah, we have by merging those two tables, we have to be more specific, because there would be more random of data than we be going to select. Like చూడండి, to get the information that applies certain pet, we match the id column in the pets and the table to the pet id column in the owner's table. For example, the pets table shown as the Dr. Harish Bonkers in the pet id with a 1, and the owner's table shows the Little is the owner pet id with the 1. So we've been trying to collect these numbers by using the pet id by matching with the pets tables id. So putting these two factors together, like unfortunately we don't have this hand feature, owner goes with the which pet. In this section you will learn to use the join to create the new table combining information with the pets and the owners table. Here this was the syntax of the join function. Here we've been selecting as a p name means these names as a pet name, and the owner's names as a owner name. From the query, the data sets have been taken as a p, and the inner join, it's also known as a join. We've been joining these data, I mean the data set of the you can see the records, pet records owners as o on pid o dot pid. We've been trying to match these pet id with the owners table. Now we've been combining the both information by matching rows where the id column in the pets matches with the pet id column in the owners table. In a query, we can see on it determines which the column in each table to use the combines the table. Notice that since the id column exists in both, we can find that both the ids columns are exists in both of the tables. Now we've been specifically mentioned that owners tables we've been selected only pet id table. It would be present in the owners table, which would be matches to the pets id in the pets table. Then both tables I have clarify which one of us. We use the pet id to refer id column for which the table pets table, and the o pet id refers to the pet id column from the owners table, like as we seen here. O pet id it would be refers from the owners table. In general, we are joining the tables in a good habit, specifying that each of the column comes from. Like we have been specifically mentioning that here the PID, I mean the pet ID is been matched to the owner's pet ID. Like here, the PID is would be matching to the owner's pet ID. The type of join we're using today is called the inner join, which would be means also as a join function. That means that in a row will only the put in the final output table if the values in the columns you have been using to combine the shows up in the both tables you are joining. For example, here the Tom's ID number is 4, which didn't exists in the pets table. So we would use to get the 3 rows from the query. There are other types of join, but the inner join is widely used. It should be good on start with. And now we have been going through an example. Like here we will be going through an example how many files are covered by each type of the software license. Like here the repository name was given with an license. Yeah, we've been these are the things you know about the constructing about the object and everything. You've been given at the max results of 5. So we have given the table with an limit of 5. The data frame is used to construct an panda framework. Here we've been gone through every these things previously. Now we've been specifying on the software repository name. It should be matches to the license repository name. So the both would be matched and will be considered as a number of license were taken. So we have been given if it's a big query, so we will investigate each phase separately. So we have been given a license with the count of 1 as a number of files. From BigQuery, you've been taking as it as an as of SF, and from the inner we've been joining the GitHub repository the license as an L. So both of that you've been joining S of repository name with the license repository name. So by grouping by L license, so we can find that the number of license in the table, which would be matched by the two different uh, with the same in the same table, but we have been extracting by CTE and combining by using the join function. So uh, let's we talk about the select and group by, which was be highlighted in yellow. Group by breaks the data into different groups on each for the each license. Before we count number of rows in a sample file, a table corresponding to the each license. Finally, the order by highlighted in a purple sort of the results with the more files appears first. So it sorts the number of licenses which would be taken by any licenses taken IIO by each repository. Those would be sorted by an order. So here we can finally print by file.const which was been saved. So this was the table was joined by using the function join. From today, as of today, the introduction to SQL was completed, and the as of from Friday, not on Thursday, from Friday, the advanced SQL would be taken care by the Saket. So I hope it would be so helpful for him too.